Another Italian beauty stands on our timesheet for today. Ducati Streetfighter V2 in the entire wealth of different developed parts just for you. This man in usual manner next to me, Julius, with a lot of information as my expert. But before he comes to his words, we start in the front of this bike and working then going forward to the rear part. Yeah, the front fender, as you usually know, really kept elegant, as well as the underlip, the lower front fairing here, what is the same one as from the V4 Streetfighter model. What is not the same one and completely new is this little small part here, and it's the instrumental cover. It's usually in normal plastics, comes from the origin, but we changed it into carbon for sure. And if you don't like it and you desire more, the older and let's say the front windshield from the V4 model, you can adapt it, assemble it one-to-one on this bike. We go further on to the ignition cover here. The ignition cover is also completely new, so it didn't exist before. Really fits perfectly into the form of the tank and goes from the right and the left side to the air tube covers. What you find here, completely new parts, the really complicated parts we created because of this new fairing of the V2 Streetfighter model. And then we move a little bit more down to this winglet kit, the double decker like I call them. They are really beautiful. As you have a little watch on it and you seem to know them, it's completely right because it's the same one from the V4 Streetfighter model. Covers the back side here with this radiator cover, what was also a little bit adapted. It's not the same one as you find on the V4, so due to this new fairing on this completely new bike.
Yeah, and below all these things we find, of course, again, like always, the belly pan. But on this bike we decided to go, I would say, a new way. So we have not only a two-piece belly pan, but, and this is now the really special thing I would say, we didn't exchange everything like we do usually, but we decided to keep the colored part, to keep the color on the lower side of the bike, keep the design I would say. And we exchange now in carbon the not painted matte black plastic part, which is behind and also behind this one. So you have really a smooth transition between the parts, you have a smooth transition to the rear of the bike, and this really gives you, I would say, a complete look on the lower side of the bike. Over it we can find the engine, of course. And on the right side of the Ducati we find the clutch, and therefore we have also a clutch cover which not only looks great but really gives you the perfect and I would say best possibility of protecting what is behind. If you follow me again more up, we find now the cylinder head cover together with the rear frame cover, and this is now the special thing I would say because it's one piece. You can see here is no gap, nothing between, because this is completely one piece. And this is now the special thing, you know, carbon is protecting the heat, so this is not only looking great, but gives you really an extra on comfort, especially now in the summer days I would say. Behind this we find the exhaust cover, which was also specially developed by us for this bike, and this also not only gives you a more complete look, but the same applies even more to this one. It keeps the heat on the inner side, let the hot air go out to the rear, but keeps you more cool on the legs, which gives you an extra on comfort. If you go even more to the rear of the bike, we find the passenger seat cover in this case. This one replaces the pillow of the passengers, and this enables you the possibility to just change from a two-seater to a monoposto bike within seconds with nothing like just the key. Then we find here the number plate holder, which is shorter, and now this is the special thing, it's again movable like you know it's adjustable, but still really tight, so it gives you all the possibilities how you need it on your specific bike. Here we find the rear fender, but, and now this is the special thing, I would say we look from it on the other side, so we turn around and see you soon. After a little pirouette I would say, we are now again on the rear fender. You can see it even more, you can see it even better. It protects also a little bit here from the rear shock. And if you go again a little bit lower, you find on the side of the swing arm protection, the swing arm cover, which also has a perfect transition to the rear fender, which gives you a really complete unit, I would say, on the swing arm. And not only this, it also gives you an extra safety here on the lower side because it closes up to the chain and to the sprocket, so you have really no possibility to hurt yourself, I would say. And of course, we just keep the dirt where it is through our elongation here. On top of the swing arm, we find the brake pipe cover together with the cover for the wire of the tire sensor. So really have a complete unit or complete package of parts to just cover in the complete swing arm and gives you a really nice looking rear. This was it from my side for now. The rest will Daniel tell you all about.
Yeah, exactly. Moving again back from the rear to the front part, we stop here at the heel cover. Small, elegant, compact, as well as the rear shock cover, which comes in different designs. So if you don't like that one, there are also other designs for you to choose. Going forward here to the sprocket cover really complicated. On the first look it's really beautiful, but when you look inside and you see it goes around the corner to the engine part in the middle, comes back again here and covers also a small front part of this whole footrest system as well as the cable here down. So if you just imagine how complicated to create this was, then you certainly know how really brilliant and fine this little part is. To the front here, to the alternator cover. Alternator cover was already explained hundreds of times from Julius about all the stiffness of the carbon. In any cases you are in trouble and probably have a crash or whatever, this really protects your alternator. We kept it in just 1/3 of the alternator part to show up the whole engine in his beauty and everything, so that this is just here a little bit lower covering and you see all the rest. Finishing all these brilliant parts with this battery box cover. So battery box cover originally comes with as plastic and we couldn't leave it like that, so we changed it completely into a carbon part. Also really beautiful, holded, huge, big, and goes like one-to-one in, let's say in a little symphony with the winglets.
As you can see, we have again a really broad range of parts for the Streetfighter V2, and you can see them now all in gloss finish. But of course, for the Ducati parts, we offer the same parts in the finish with the satin matte design, which is the exact same like on Ducati Performance and the original OEM Ducati parts. So this was it already from our side about this bike. We prepared a lot of beautiful pictures from you. I hope you enjoyed them. If you liked the video, just give it a thumb up. And maybe you just follow our channel to not miss out any new coming videos. This was it from us. I wish you all the best. See you next time. Au revoir.
Bye bye.